Week 1 has officially begun, and guess what? It's not over yet. Because Bill Belichick's UNC debut is still tonight. Yeah, TCU versus UNC for the first time in Bill Belichick's career with the Tar Heels. I'm actually very intrigued by that matchup. And maybe you are too. What more can we expect from Week 1? Welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football on the Grizz, and ladies and gentlemen, we are reacting to the Week 1 results, well, some of them. We are also going to go over the final 2025 NFL Division rankings, at least the predictions for that matter. If you are, for some reason, still looking for the Season 2 playlist for Grizzly Talks Football, I'll make sure to have it in the description so you can go view every episode so you're all caught up. And you also have it for future episodes whenever they come out. Also, do not forget to hit the red subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you don't miss a single one of my videos. Helps the channel a lot. Without further ado, Week 1, college football. Let's get to it. Kicking this thing off, we have to go back to Thursday evening when the first ranked versus unranked upset happened. Yeah, that's right. The only group of 5 team at the time to be ranked, Boise State immediately got humiliated by South Florida in Tampa. Give your credit to Boise State. Total yards, first downs, and time possession, they took control of. They would have made this game more competitive if only they didn't turn the ball over so damn much. Yeah, that's right. Boise State lost 3 fumbles in this game, and that resulted in the last 3 quarters being taken full control by South Florida. Also, shout out to Byron Brown for 210, I think that's total yards, and also 2 rushing touchdowns. Oh, wait, sorry, that's just passing yards. He actually did have 250 total yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, so that was great. And the defense actually had 3 fumble recoveries off 2 forced fumbles, even though they only had 1 sack. Congratulations to a big win for South Florida, actually their first win over an AP-ranked opponent since 2016. Yeah, almost a decade ago. Feels like forever. And now South Florida puts themselves in the group of 5 conversation for a potential playoff berth already. Go get 'em, Bowls. And the other unranked versus ranked upset we had this week, yes, there was only 2, but it was twice as significant. Because in Tallahassee, at Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell, number 8 Alabama lost to Florida State 31-17. One thing I gotta say, offense actually didn't do completely ass. I mean, they started off strong, but just a shame that their defense looked as useful as a wet piece of toilet paper. I mean, Bama's defense has been complete ass lately. From allowing 40 points to Vandy to this shit, the downfall of Alabama football might be coming sooner rather than we thought. You know something? I actually predicted Bama to lose 5 games this season. I didn't think they would take that seriously. No, but seriously, offense looks fine, but the defense, yeah, you need to go fire Kane Womack, because they couldn't stop Tommy Castellanos all game long. That Florida State defense also had 3 sacks on the day. They also pressured Ty Simpson into some pretty awful throws that he'd like to forget about. He did play well, though. It's a good thing he got Jeremy Bernard to throw to, ain't Ty Simpson? But either way, this was a big embarrassment to the SEC. Yikes. Oh yeah, Bama, you allowed 230 rushing yards in the game. Ouch. And now we move on to the ranked versus ranked matchups, starting with the site for Lee Corso's final headgear pick, in which he picked his first love, Brutus. In this game between 1 versus 3, arguably should have been 1 versus 2, Ohio State won a hugely defensive battle against the Texas Longhorns, 14-7. Like I said, 2 inexperienced quarterbacks, it was a very big defensive battle, and the defenses really did come to play. Not even joking. But give credit to C.J. Donaldson on 67 rushing yards and a score. He actually balled out in his first game as a Buckeye. He was a West Virginia transfer, and he actually did pretty nice to start off his Ohio State career. Also want to give a shout out to Jermaine Matthews Jr. of the Buckeyes defense. He got himself an interception this game. The only interception for the Buckeye defense. Actually, the only turnover of the game. He was actually trash talking the SEC. Remember that Cotton Bowl saying, SEC, we own the SEC? He backed that up on Saturday. Hey, if you can back up your trash talk with some great performance, much respect to you. I'm talking about you, Tommy Castellanos, as well as you, Jermaine. Most likely, Ohio State will be number 1 coming tomorrow. The AP poll, I will definitely talk about that tomorrow. You wonder why it hasn't come out yet? Literally because there's still one more game left to be played. You can see some of the other scores as well, just so you can get a gist of what's going on as we go through it, by the way. Oh, if you want to know what happened with BYU, let's just say we played an FCS school and it went about as we expected. Okay, we won 69-0. Nice. And Bear Botmeyer had 5 total touchdowns in this game. 3 passing, 2 rushing. Guy is a beast. Anyways, moving on to top 10 matchups. LSU gets their first season opener win since the magical 2019 season. They beat Clemson 17-10. I should have known both of these teams kind of struggle with the, season opener thing, especially Clemson against SEC opponents. They've lost twice to Georgia in 4 seasons actually. Now they've lost to 3 SEC opponents, 2 of them being Georgia, 1 being LSU, in the last 5 seasons. Of course, in the season opener. Aside from the turnover battle, Brian Kelly, Garrett Newsmeyer, and the LSU team actually was able to control the entire game. They almost doubled the first downs. They had 37 minutes of time of possession. I mean, they were holding on to the ball as long as they could. Started off great for Clemson, but then LSU fought their way back and just never looked back. How about Caden Durham of the LSU running backs? He was able to get 96 total yards, 75 rushing, and a rushing touchdown. Can't forget Aaron Anderson. He almost had 100 receiving yards. Newsmeyer played well as well, 230 passing yards and a thrown touchdown. He did lose 2 fumbles on sacks, but at the end of the day, the LSU team got it done on Saturday night. Not exactly the game I expected from Caden Clemson, but I'm sure he'll be able to bounce back in no time. And of course, we can't forget the top 10 showdown from last night between the Irish of Notre Dame and the Miami Hurricanes, which the Canes win 27-24 in a crazy game, an instant classic. Both quarterbacks actually played very well. CJ Carr, 2 touchdown throws, 200 yards. Carson Beck, likewise. Defense was able to get a couple of sacks, in the end of the game. They also forced a couple of turnovers on Notre Dame. They actually got as high as 24-10, but then Notre Dame was able to make the comeback, but then Miami's 1 field goal with over a minute left was the nail in the coffin. It was just too late for Notre Dame to even catch up. Turnovers definitely hurt Notre Dame. Miami's Carson Beck, he makes some pretty good throws as well, but overthrew at times. I'm sure both of these teams will be just fun. Mario Cristobal generate hype at the start of the season, but then collapse at the end. I'm waiting for that when it comes November, December. By the way, one more thing I wanted to mention. Tennessee, I hope you're better off with Joey Aguilar because Nico Yamaliava played horribly against Utah. I hope Nico finally regrets what he just got himself into. Trash can of a human being. At least Tennessee moved on and got a better quarterback in Joey Aguilar. Yeah, he threw 3 touchdowns in the game against Syracuse. Oh yeah, there's South Carolina. Norris Sellers balled out. Nick Harper was incredible as well on offense. They were able to get the late surge in the 4th quarter to seal it off. I wish they would have brought the same energy in the first 3 quarters though. Well, they did on the opening drive, but then all they conversed up was 3 points after that. But anyways, that's all for college football. Let's move on to the final division ranking predictions. For these predictions, I'm just going to make just a few minor changes here. I'm going to leave the AFC South alone. I'm going to leave the AFC East alone. I'm going to leave the AFC West alone. I am going to change the AFC North, however. I'm leaving first place alone. Ravens are definitely going to be first. And I'm leaving last alone. Browns are definitely going to be last. What I am going to change is the 3rd place and the 2nd place teams. I'm going to switch the Steelers and Bengals. Why am I doing this? Well, first off, Bengals, despite their absolutely amazing high-powered offense, can't have a defense to save their lives. They lost Jermaine Pratt, one of their anchors at the linebacker core. They struggled to pay Trey Hendrickson until later on. They finally got a deal done. And also Steelers, I mean, their offense is not great, but they're not as bad as the defense of the Bengals. I mean, defense is absolutely spectacular. Got a lot of weapons out there. Sad they lost Minkah Fitzpatrick, though. I'm sure the Steelers will be just fine. Probably going to get another playoff berth. Other changes going to make, I'm going to leave the NFC South alone. I'm going to leave the NFC East alone, even though, you know, Micah Parsons got traded to the Packers. As much as I want to put Dallas in last, I can't do that because as much as the Giants have a lot of great upside, a lot of great young guys they can lean on, unfortunately their schedule is absolutely unforgiving. Too much so that I can't put them above Dallas right now. So the NFC East is going to stay as is. Another division that's also going to stay as is going to be the NFC West. You know, at the much deliberation, I've decided that the Rams will stay in first, 49ers will stay in second, and Seahawks will stay in third. I was thinking about switching Seattle and San Francisco. No, not Arizona. Unless they move on for a new quarterback, Arizona's not winning shit. I will actually change the NFC North drastically. They have Matt LaFleur, one of the good offensive gurus in the entire NFL. They also just traded for Micah Parsons, even though they did have to give up 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. If they would have had Jair Alexander along with him, oh boy, that I can't help but imagine what that defense would look like. Well, at least they got Xavier McKinney, who's been intercepting passes a lot last season. As for these standings, I'm actually, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm actually going to put the Chicago Bears in third, the Lions in last, the Packers in first, and the Vikings in second. I think all 4 of these teams are at least going to have a winning record or right around that mark. But with this division on the Green Bay Packers, this makes them division title contenders. And I gotta say, especially with guys like Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, and now rookie Matthew Golden, alongside Jalen Reed and Tucker Kraft, that offense is gonna be gross, and so is the defense. Not the first time Dallas gave up a generational talent for a bag of Sun Chips. Yeah, I said that quote for somebody. I actually don't even know who it was. But that trade was that bad. Watch Jerry Jones turn those first-round picks into more draft capital because that's exactly what he does. And that's going to be all the changes they're going to be doing for the NFL division ranking predictions. And these are the final ones for 2025. That'll also do it for this episode of Grizzly Talks Football. Make sure to have the NFL team tier list for 2025 in tomorrow's video, as well as the AP poll reaction for week 2. Anyways, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you give this a big thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. This is the Grizz signing off for now. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, keep the Grizzly vibes with you at all times. Take care.